Former IRS bureaucrat Lois Lerner is in the clear tonight. The Justice Department says neither Lerner nor anyone else from the tax agency will face charges over the targeting of conservative groups. Correspondent Peter Doocy is here to tell us about that. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Bret. The Justice Department does not think Lois Lerner deserves to go to jail for singling out conservative groups that wanted tax-exempt status during the 2010 and 2012 election, and that's because the feds say out of more than 100 witnesses they interviewed, including some IRS employees who don't like Lois Lerner and some who identified themselves as conservative, nobody ever accused her of having a political bias when deciding which groups deserve scrutiny and which do not. Remember, though, Lerner did apologize for this targeting and called it inappropriate in 2013. These new findings come in a letter to Democratic Congressman John Conyers Jr. and Republican Congressman Bob Goodlatte. Goodlatte said tonight, quote, "At every turn, President Obama and administration officials have repeatedly and publicly undermined the investigation into the IRS's targeting of conservative groups. Yet, today's announcement from the Justice Department is still very disturbing." This letter also includes an IRS explanation about why conservative and Tea Party groups were getting so much unwanted attention from the taxman between 2009 and 2013. It's because there were just a lot of them. 70% of the 500 applications for tax-exempt status reviewed belonged to right-leaning organizations. On top of that, the feds found evidence of mismanagement and poor judgment, but they write that, quote, "Poor management is not a crime." Further, the feds are also letting Lerner off the hook for the mysterious disappearance of her email archive, saying the IRS backup system was set up poorly, so they can't prove she actively tried to conceal her electronic records. And she's also been cleared for using expletives when writing about conservatives and demeaning them, like this, quote, "So we don't need to worry about alien terrorists, it's our own crazies that will take us down." The DOJ thinks that kind of talk on a work email handle represents poor judgment, but since she never mentioned trying to harm that group because they lean right, in that message or in any of the 1 million documents analyzed, there's no criminal intent, so there can be no criminal charges. Bret.
Okay, thanks for the update, Peter.